Right then, my friends, we are live on Trickstar Radio. It is Breakfast with KXVU here, and I'm excited. I'm very excited indeed. We're on to our second guest of the day. Amy Lauren is in the building. How are we doing? How are we doing?
Yo, how are you? Good, thanks.
It's good to have you on, man. It's good to have you on. Obviously, this is one we've kind of had in the books for a few weeks. Thank you for taking the time out of your morning. How's your morning looking so far on this unusual Monday?
Do you know what? The sun's just come out, and it's funny because even though I've not left the house, I started getting up and getting ready, like as if I was going out. Forgot you can't see me.
Yeah, the whole thing of it at the moment is very unusual in regards to, like, this is the first time I've actually left the house to go to work this year. No, this since February. So it's 5 months, and I've kind of come in like not quite knowing how buses work, wondering if my bus pass is still going to work, like wondering if I still know how to work keys, all of these things. Like it's
all alien.
Yeah.
But I would say well done. Your work rate's been brilliant since lockdown.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot, and that's why it's good to have you on, because obviously we've got loads of stuff to talk about. We've got loads of discussion to have. We've got a few things that you've been working on recently. Obviously, you've been pretty prolific in regards to kind of UK radio over the last over the last couple of years, by the looks of things. So, do you want to talk me through your kind of journey and your kind of process? What was the thing that kind of drew you into that kind of DJ world?
Well, I worked behind a bar for years, and that's kind of how I just got into music and stuff, really. It literally started from, I was a glass collector actually before I was behind the bar, let's be real. Like walking through the dance floor, collecting the glasses, having a little dance. I was like, I just don't ever want to work a 9-to-5 job. Like, there's something about this industry that's just really good. Definitely.
There is something just exciting though that about even the smell of a club, if you know what I mean, that kind of not even when it's a bad smell, there's still the smell of a club that kind of makes you go, oh, this is just where I want to be.
It's the old nightclubs that have like the carpet still in there. Like, who even thought to put carpet on the dance floor? But you know the clubs I mean, when you go in and it's like just stale alcohol from like 1980 in there.
No, like there's a fair few of them about, and I think obviously with yourself then kind of going from obviously working in more sort of like a sort of bar work kind of sense, how do you make that transition then into being essentially a DJ? Like, what was the thing that what was the kind of process you took?
Well, the process for me obviously was easier to make the step, I think, because I worked in a club. So on my days off, I used to ask my manager on a Monday, like, if I could just go to the back of the venue and just, like, practice a little bit. And then that kind of moved over onto having, when I was, like, on my days off, I'd come in and watch, like, the resident DJs and just become friends with them. And sort of they all taught me, like, bits along the way. And it all sort of stemmed from there. And the massive decision to like quit my job to DJ was quite scary, but I'd been offered like one small residency, and I thought, do you know what, if I don't take this opportunity now, I can always go back into working in a bar or whatever, but like this is something I really want to do, so I gave it a go and I haven't looked back. So.
I was gonna ask, what was the residency? What was the opportunity?
It was only a small one, actually. The bar that I worked at, I'd left there and I was somewhere else, but it was that bar in Missoula in Colchester. They asked me to do the Sunday there, just playing like a bit of house. There wasn't a particularly busy night, just to try and play something a little bit different. And obviously, like, that venue has a special place in my heart because I spent like 7 years of my life there. So it was just, let's give it a go and see if I can get a couple of other bits as well and see what happens.
Yeah. So it was a bit of a leap then. Realistically, it wasn't like anything was guaranteed. This was kind of like, look, I want to do this and I'm going to make the jump.
100%. It was kind of a silly decision because for the first time I was earning like all right money, and I was like assistant manager, so I'd kind of worked all the way up from the glass collector to being in a really good position, and I thought, you know what, just got to try it, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think with the whole thing of it as well, with that kind of jump, that kind of leap, that kind of process, it's something that I think eludes a lot of people for a long period of time. I think a lot of the time with people, they really try to get secure before they can make the leap. How would you describe your feeling, but your feelings behind going, you know what, I am going to quit and do this?
It's kind of me all over. Once I get an idea in my head, I kind of just decide, that's it, I want to maybe do this, and it's maybe a good trait and a bad trait of mine. I've learned to try and rein it in over the years and maybe make things wait rather than just go all in. But I think it's a part of my character. If I'm passionate about something, I'll just give it a go. It excites me. Like it could do well, it might not do well, but you know, just trying. So it's a bit of a thrill, isn't it?
Definitely, man. I think it's awesome as well. Just the whole approach you've kind of taken to it, in regards to kind of not necessarily having anything like concrete there that you know you're going to be able to survive off. Like, I think it's a brave thing to do, and it's a very admirable thing to do. So what's the kind of steps been like since you got that first residency in? Then how's it all kind of built from there?
Oh, it's been really hard, not gonna lie. Gigs come your way, and things that you want, you don't always get them straight away. So yeah, it was a long time of grafting, and you never stop learning as well as a DJ. So I thought, I always look back and I think, oh, I get to the stage and I think I'm like, okay. And then I look back and I think, oh my God, I'm so much better now than I was then. Like, why did these people even book me? But yeah, it's opened so many doors, and like lockdown's been hard, but it's actually given me the time to. I've been wanting to do music production for quite a while, and it's all started now. I've had the time, and doing the radio show as well, which I've only been doing for 12 weeks. I think that's been the main one. Listening back to my first show yesterday, actually, and it was like, oh, hello, you're listening to the dance show with Amy Lauren.
Well, this is the thing. Your voice is going to be everywhere now. It's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. Like, how do you feel about listening back to your own voice?
Oh, cringy. I'm getting used to it now a bit more. Like, my shows sound a lot better, but honestly, the difference from week 1 to week 12, I would have turned me off. Just boring.
But that's part of the process, though, man. And I think I love
it.
That I'd say to an extent as well, that kind of journey of becoming comfortable with your own vocal tones and how you sound, and understanding how you can switch things up that you're not happy with. I think that's like the main part of that process of becoming like a radio entity.
Of course, and it's having the technology as well, and the knowledge of knowing that yes, anyone could just make something in their bedroom and put it out, but you know, like, you have to invest in like microphones and stuff, and it's the bigger picture. It's not just really easy to throw together. And I'm so lucky. I've had some help from like Joshua Roberts from Select, with like mic levels and just trying to get the sound right for me. So yeah, honestly, so many people have been really helpful since lockdown. It's been nice to reach out to people that I haven't even met yet, but they're already friends, you know.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's been very interesting, even just to watch via like the Twitter feed over the past few weeks, man. I've seen so much stuff that you're involved in, and it's just always exciting to see. And that's obviously why I went, right, I'm going to need to try and get you on my show, and then now we're here, so it works beautifully.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the track that you sent over for us to spin this morning. This one goes by the name of Do This, and it's by Dots Per Inch. So talk to me about this tune. How did it come together? All of that good stuff.
Okay, so Dots Per Inch is a friend of mine, and he's an absolutely amazing producer and DJ. He sent this to me actually a couple of days ago, and it's a club anthem. I love it. I think it will just get you up this morning dancing 100%, and this is all the sounds I kind of like in a track. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. You described it exactly what I want to hear this morning. So that's what we're doing. We're hitting today with big energy. Amy Lauren is on the phone. We're going to get into this one right about now. Don't go anywhere, my friends. But before we do that, just so I'm aware, what is the best social media tag for people to get you on?
At DJ Amy Lauren, across everything, and my website, djamylauren.com.
Amazing. Right then, friends, Trickstar Radio, make sure you are going and downloading the app. We are available via, obviously, the App Store and Google Play as well, so keep it locked.
I've got a couple of bits coming out, but just not yet. Not yet, but soon. But yeah, eyes open, and they're going to be good. Nice,
man. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing it. And kind of with that then, what sort of styles are you going for? Like, what's the sort of thing that's inspired you production-wise?
So, I love playing house music, and I like house music quite like across the board. So, I do enjoy like soulful house, deep house, tech house, like all of it. But I really found myself DJing, and I really just get a kick of playing like clubhouse, like stuff with a bit of a bass line, just to get you going. So that's the angle that I want to put out as my sound, something that you'll hear and get up in high energy. So,
nice.
Yeah.
That's what we want though, man.
Me.
That's what, especially if we're in that sort of like clubbing environment and we're in that sort of like live music sort of sphere. We want energetic music. That's what we kind of want to see. So kind of looking forward then, obviously with all the clubs kind of being closed, like how are you kind of finding the kind of finding of new music as much as anything from a kind of like selector angle?
It's been hard and easy at the same time. I've had a lot more time to actually like learn like new artists, people, DJs, all everything, all kind of even bootlegs and stuff, and I get to play that in my show and sort of hopefully give people a platform to hear other stuff. So like, yeah, that's really helped, and people want to send you music as well when you're playing it out. So I've had a lot of really nice stuff come to me without having to find or like look too hard. So yeah, and I think because a lot of producers have had time to make music in lockdown, like there's a lot of good stuff out there, but it's kind of waiting for the clubs to open again so people can hear it played out, you know.
Definitely, man. There's a lot of people are sat on a lot of ammunition right now. Kind of with that then, obviously in regards to the kind of radio side of things, like how are you finding in regards to like people getting involved with the show, like how are you finding the kind of organising of shows as much as anything?
That's been difficult, and I think I'm still learning, and like there's still room for improvement. Like I said, I'm only 12 weeks in, and the progression from like week 1 is mental. So I would hope that in another 12 weeks time I'll look back and say even better, because I put a lot of planning into my shows and trying to keep the music balanced throughout. For a radio listener, obviously it's very different. I started my shows very much like as a DJ, like I'm going to take you for a warm up and into the main set, but I kind of dropped that because people listen to radio. If they're listening to you in the mix, it's different, but if they're listening to a 2-hour show, I think they don't want to hear an hour of warm-up stuff. They want to just hear a mixture of everything. Of
course. You want to have that kind of like humanising element, I feel, as well. You want to be able to kind of have a conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
Most definitely.
So that's been planning, like a lot of planning, as I'm sure you know, a lot of planning goes into your show, so... Yeah, I'm still learning.
Definitely, man. But it's been sick to see, and as I've said, the progression we've kind of seen online and via the socials, and obviously the kind of interaction you're getting, and the amount of people that seemingly like are getting very involved and listening on a regular basis. It must be kind of like quite gratifying for that to have happened so quickly.
It's actually amazing because I've reached out with so many people as well. Yeah, it's been a bit overwhelming actually. I get a couple of messages like drop in every now and again. So I like really enjoy listening to you, keep doing what you're doing, and it's like I didn't even think that many people cared or listened, but to hear the nice feedback, it just drives you on even more. So
definitely, man. I mean, that's awesome, and I think it's again, having been someone that's made that jump, and now you're finding yourself where you are kind of progressing in all these fields. Obviously, the radio side of things, you're now moving into production as well. Like, do you feel the future's looking like quite bright in regards to like what you've got going on?
I hope so. Yeah. It's something to look forward to anyway. I think everyone needs something to look forward to with lockdown, whether it's being able to see your friends or your nan that you might not have been able to see for ages, or going out. Or even a holiday. For me, I have a holiday as well, but yeah, to actually maybe have something to work towards now. I kind of see a sight, and it's nice. I think for a while as a DJ, you kind of just get a little bit lost wanting to do other gigs, and you kind of get stuck in doing what you're doing, and lockdown's actually given me a time to look beyond what I'm doing and see where I'd like to try and move into. So
most definitely,
yeah.
Most definitely, man. Well, I tell you what, we've only got a couple of minutes left on this one, and I tell you what, it's absolutely flown by. It's been great having you on and hearing about your kind of journey. One thing I'm going to ask is, what would be your number one piece of advice to someone who's looking to follow a similar kind of path?
Yeah, just do it. If it makes you happy, just give it a go. Obviously, weigh up everything and take into consideration. You know, if you have a family and children, maybe just leaving your job to hope to be a DJ isn't logical.
Yeah.
But if you really have a dream, and you believe in yourself, get good people around you that believe in you too, and will keep you in check. So yeah, you just follow your dreams. Well, even if it's not even in DJing, if it's in anything, just go for it. Why not?
There we go. Amazing stuff. Well, thank you for coming on. One more time, what's the best way for people to get hold of you via different social media channels? One more time.
At DJ Amy Lauren on all the socials or djamylauren.com.
Amazing. Well, again, it's been great having you on. We're going to stay in contact. What's the rest of your day looking like?
Just chilling in the garden, and I'm going to start working on some new music, actually, some new mixes this week.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Staying busy, staying active during this this very unusual period of time. Amy, it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll speak soon, okay?
Thank you.
Bless, 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 bless. Right then, friends, that is going to be it from me for today's show. We have had an absolute corker. A massive shout out to everyone who's been involved in today's show. A massive shout out to AB, everyone who's been locked in as well via the Trickstar Radio app and, of course, via the podcast as well, which you can check out on Spotify. Simply search Breakfast with Kovu, the interviews. That's KXVU, and you'll be able to find all of the interviews we've been doing over the past few months. Again, a massive shout out to everyone who's locked in, everyone supporting the pages. Of course, go and subscribe to youtube.com/CubCamTV. If you are locked in via the YouTube, I see you. Thank you. And what we're going to do is move into one more tune for the day. This one is, for me, Bush Baby's favourite. It's my favourite tune of Bush Baby's. It's, in my opinion, his strongest one. And obviously, he's been absolutely smashing it during lockdown with release after release. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into this one. Goes by the name of Cutty, and that's going to be it from me, my friends. It's been an absolute honour being back. It's been fantastic. It's been very enjoyable indeed. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish up here, and I shall see you in the morning. We're going to be joined by Slim Coffee, Danny, Jack, and LS Dean in the morning. It's going to be a great one. Thank you for joining us, and we shall see you next time. Trickstar Radio, baby.